Hi everybody, and welcome to the tutorial for the Blog Hop Beautiful Blossoms and Tutorials. I'm going to show you how to make a carnation. You're at the Lynn Scrap Shack blog right now and viewing a tutorial on this. This is a small carnation that I created on the first go around of trying to make this tutorial, and here is a larger version. I've had this one probably 6 months or more. And if you notice, see, I didn't ink both edges on this. This one I did. You can see the difference in when it curls out. I'm going to showing this because when we ink these edges, we're going to do both sides. You learn as you go. So first of all, I'm going to show you what you're going to need. You're going to need a punch. Scallop circle punch, any size you want. I'm using a small one. This is by Paper Studios. It's from Hobby Lobby. I think it says it's 1 7/16. Here's a larger one. That's what the large blue one's made of. It's 2 5/16. So using a smaller one. You punch out 8 of these little puppies. Punch out 8 of them. And after you punch out all 8 of them, you're going to ink the edges like so. You see how I've inked them. You're going to ink both sides. When you punch them out and you have a little bit of a mess up right there, it's not going to show. It's not going to matter. Look at the edges. Do you know that any of this has got a little quirk on the edges or anything? No. So this is fine. Don't throw it out because of that. But let's ink it. Oh, let's don't use that ink because it's making a mess. Wrong one. You may have an idea how to keep those glued back down. Let me know. Alright. I just pick it up. You ink it all around the edges. I'm going to use this little one with the messed up edge too, so you'll see it won't show. And you got it inked up. After you've inked them up, you usually take a towel and I put them out here and I spritz them with water. You're going to find out water is a big tool in making flowers sometimes. 8 of them. I use 8. You can use 6, 10, however you want to make, however many you want to use to make it as full as you want to make it. This particular flower is made with 8 layers. I think this one's with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Might be 7. I think it could have used 1 or 2 more layers. But this is a smaller one. You've got them inked up. You're ready out. And you're going to spritz them with some water. Like so. Don't get them too wet, but wet enough. I usually, tap them down and get a little wet. Now, just when you thought it was hard to make flowers, all you have to do is make a spitball. Look at that. You wad them up. I usually wad them up, put them in a row, like so. That way I can start back at the very first one. They all get the same amount of wrinkle time, so to speak. And you have 8 of them to wad up. You just wad them up really good. Like that one a little more. Wad them up, wad them up, wad them up. Alright. Then you start back over at the beginning here. Oh, my phone's going off. Over here, and you start unwadding them. Like so. And we're going to stack them up. You don't want to actually line up the scallops, but you want to at least stack them circular. You don't want them off. You want them as straight as possible as far as stacked and straight up. And just be careful when you are unwrapping them. They will tear if you've got them too wet. And you can see my little fingers are inked. Sorry about that. And this one's going to be difficult opening. There you go. You just be careful opening them. If you tear one, it tears. You just get another one and go from there. It's paper, right? It's just paper. But like I said before, the misting and the water adds a lot to it because the water breaks down the paper. And once it starts drying or dries back, you'll find it stiffer, it's harder, and it'll hold its shape better. Of course, there's always things you can purchase to keep it on there too, to keep it the shape. Shellacs or enamels or whatever there are sprays out there to keep it, preserve it, depending on how far you want to keep your flower. I've got them all stacked up. I used them to get my little board here, and I've got then I'm going to pierce the middle. Oh, sorry about that. Take the piercing tool. You got them all lined up as best you can. Find the middle as close as you can to the middle, and just pierce it. And oh, look how it's lined up good. And I just keep rolling around till it starts turning, and I know it's gone all the way through. Go all the way through with the. Be very careful with this part, because if you're not careful, you end up stabbing yourself, or you'll end up ripping the flowers, because the petals or the punch, because it is wet. So go in as far as you can while you're doing that. I usually go from the same side I went through, because the paper's paper's going that way. Line it up. Don't think I quite inked it enough. I'm not inked it, I'm sorry, wetted enough. Do that all the way so you can see. We've got it opened up. Now we have this little flat, and you can also see that I didn't get in the middle. I have this flat flower. Now we're going to take and we're going to squunch them up some more. Squash, squunch, scrunch, whatever you want to call it. Just up to the middle. Each layer individually. Take each one and squash it to the middle. See? Easy flower. If you can squash paper, you can make spitballs, you can wad up paper. If you can wet it with the mister, you can make this flower. Just like this. One more, you can see I'm off because it's not coming up all the way. But you're going to see it's not going to matter. It's going to be fine. One more layer. Go up. You can also use a Cricut cartridge if you have a cartridge for a scallop edge, or and if you have a Cricut, then you can make it any size you want, various diameters. But if you are limited to punches, which a lot of us are, you can. A scallop punch is a very useful punch for a lot of different things, so it's not a punch that's going to go to waste if you invest in that. And we keep going up. And I think this is the last one. And we just squunch, squunch, squunch. Okay. That doesn't look like a carnation, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty? Like a carnation? No? Okay. Well, let's see if we can make magic happen. And then we start just opening it up. Now, because it's wet, and the more you push on it, it's going to push down the petals or whatever, the punch, the paper. So I usually take my paper piercing tool, and I use it to open it up some. And you can open up as big or as little as you want. And then you let it get it where you want it, however you want it to look. So. You keep messing with it. And once it's like you want it, you put it down and let it air dry, or you can take your heat gun. Let's see, move this out of the way. I don't know if you can see it better that way or not. Can you see it? You just open it up. And you've got your little carnation. And my other carnation. See, this one's already drying some. It's a little lighter in color as far as the ink goes. Not much, but it is a little bit lighter. Let them air dry. And you finish them off however you want. If you can put, some people put another circle on the bottom. Some people put leaves. However you want to finish it off, it works. Put it in a spray. that's how you have them. That's a small carnation. That is the punch that is 1 7/16 Paper Studio punch. And here's like I say, the larger carnation. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the difference in size. But these are like little button carnations. And that is how simple it is. If you can wad up paper, you can make a carnation. And I want to thank you for stopping by for the blog hop. More tutorials to follow. And thanks again for joining me at Lynn Scrap Shack. Bye.